Robin Sanders is Chief Executive of FEEDS, which focuses on democracy, human rights, and development issues. She's also been the U.S. Ambassador to Nigeria and ECOWAS and joins us by Skype from Washington, D.C. Ambassador Sanders, thank you. Always good to talk to you at times like this to get your insight. So, President Yahya Jammeh, what can his end game possibly be to keep pushing this and pushing this? Does he possibly really think he's going to get to stay in office?
I think that there's a question on who's going to blink first. And I think in his mind, he thinks he's holding all the cards. It will be interesting to see what ECOWAS is going to do operationally once midnight happens. I don't anticipate him actually conceding at midnight. It'll be quite a surprise to me if he does that. That doesn't seem to fit with his personality. I think he wants some concession that allows him to have a role in Gambian society that he deems, maybe not the Gambian people, maybe not the international community, but that he deems is befitting his divine authority, which he claims that he has. So it really is going to be a question on whether or not they can find some kind of compromise through the diplomatic channels that they are working on right now to get him to at least agree to that the most important thing right now is the peace, not only in Gambia, but the impact that's going to have on the region. The number of players that have come in to offer him exile, clearly he doesn't want to leave the Gambia, as he would have taken one of those issues or one of those countries as a choice. So he wants to have some kind of role in the leadership of Gambia that allows him to maintain the divine authority or the prestige that he's held for 22 years.
So, Ambassador, though, but that just tells you right there when you remind us of where he's coming from and the fact that there are people who want to prosecute him and some people who support him. Those are two starkly different positions.
You're absolutely right. Not that I see that DRC is a good example of the types of compromises that could happen, but what happened in DRC in a way is similar to this, where you had to finally compromise to allow a little bit of an extension in order to keep the peace in the region. I'm not proposing that for the Gambia. I think that ECOWAS is doing the right thing. I think the leadership in ECOWAS, I'm proud of Gambia and not of Gambia, sorry, but of Nigeria and its leadership, and certainly of ECOWAS. Mr. Chambers, who was the head of ECOWAS when I was permanent representative there, is well known for his forthrightness and this leadership role that ECOWAS is taking and the UN is taking on this. Those are the right diplomatic moves. The question is, in an hour, is Jammeh going to blink and blink sufficiently enough that there remains to be peace in the region? The stark differences are there. It doesn't mean that some sort of medium-term compromise cannot be worked out like it was worked out in the DRC. It may not be the best of both worlds, but the main thing is to keep the peace in the region and to ensure that the entire region doesn't fall into conflict, and also that you don't have a mass influx of refugees to all of the neighboring countries that you've talked about that have a role.
So how far do you think ECOWAS is prepared to go?
I think ECOWAS is prepared to go pretty far. It's something that ECOWAS has talked about for years. Now they're walking the walk. They've always talked about ensuring that there's democratic processes that are supported, that leaders are to step down, that they're to respect their term limits. And this is the first time they're operationalizing that mandate, that mission that they've had for so long. And as I mentioned, that Mr. Chambers, that was something that he always wanted to see for ECOWAS when he was head of ECOWAS years ago, and now he's head of the UN Africa office and the special envoy for the West African region and the Sahel. So I don't think ECOWAS is playing a game here. They are serious. They're going to be operational. You see that Senegal already has troops on the border. You see that Nigerians already have troops prepared to also go in. So the question is going to be how they're going to operationalize once they cross into the border. And the other pivotal, I think, thing to pay attention to is the Gambian military. It's right now divided along ethnic lines, unfortunately. And the question is, will the side that's supporting Jammeh actually blink and step down? Can they actually fight their brothers in ECOWAS? And that's the one thing that I'm not sure of. I don't think that they have the wherewithal and the strength to really combat an operational exercise by ECOWAS.
Okay. Okay. Ambassador Robin Sanders, I'm sure we'll be calling on you again. Thank you very much for your insight on this.
My pleasure.